Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm a freshman at Sage School, and the project I created is called the 88 Magic Ball. So just for some background knowledge on the project, it's a chat box inspired by the Magic 8 Ball, which is usually used for advice and fortune telling. So basically how it works is that you ask the Magic 8 Ball a yes or no question, and it will generate a random response. But because of the increasing reliance on digital things, I wanted to create a digital version of the Magic 8 Ball with a more interactive user face. So to digitize the Magic 8 Ball, I decided to make a Twitter bot because of the increasing reliance on social media and how Twitter is becoming more relevant. And so any user on Twitter can use it by simply mentioning the bot, and it will automatically tweet out a random reply. And if you respond to the reply with another question, it will continue responding. So your conversation with the chatbot can be as long or as short as you want it to be. And yeah, so I created this bot using Python, the Twitter API, and Tweetbee, which allowed me to use Python to make changes to the Twitter API and find Twitter IDs. So I have a live demo of the bot. So this is just a random account I made for the bot, and I can just mention it with a random question like, is my battery low? And then, so this is the code for my project. Yeah, and so if I just run the bot, it searches Twitter every minute for new tweets that mention the bot. So we can just like wait a couple seconds. Yeah, so basically, as you can see now, there will be automated responses to the questions, and they're random and completely different. And if you want to, you can like reply off of this and ask it more questions, and it will continue to make new tweets at you and like just answer your questions. Oh, and does anyone have like a public Twitter account? Do you like want to try out the bot?
Okay.
Yeah, so you can just add this account, 88 Magic Ball, and tell me when you tweet it out.
Wait, what's the name of the thing?
I'll put it in the chat. Yeah, and if anyone else wants to do it, you can just like jump in and tweet at it.
Should I follow it or?
You don't need to follow it, but you can, but it's not required.
If anyone's using Twitter on their computer and interacting with the chatbot, if you want to share your screen, that'd be great. All right, I think there's someone confused on how to use it. Nicole, do you mind going back to your screen?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
So all you do is make sure your Twitter account is public, and then you just put in at 88 Magic Ball and then ask it a question. Okay, we got 4 questions, so I'm going to run the bot.
Okay, I think I tweeted something.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. Okay. Okay, so these are the questions, and just give the bot a while because it checks every minute. Okay, so if you check back at it, there should be responses now. So, oops. So you should watch the Creek stream apparently. And, oh, it might be checking every minute again. Yeah, and apparently this is not a test for a coding thing. Okay, yeah, so that's kind of it. It's just a really simple chat box, but it has like a lot of different responses to things. And for the code sample, I'll share right now. So basically, the first thing I did was import all the libraries I used, and the most important one is Tweetbee. And so then I had to authenticate to Twitter. So basically, to make Twitter bots and change the Twitter API, you have to apply to get into the Twitter development program. And after you get accepted, it gives you the code for you to authenticate and make changes to the API. So on the right here are functions used to store and retrieve the last seen ID from a file. So like in Twitter, every single tweet you send out has its own unique tweet ID. And what my bot does is that it collects the IDs of the tweets that mention my bot in order to use those IDs to tweet back at tweets that mention the bot. And so on the left here is the function to actually tweet back at mentions, and it uses the last seen ID, which it will retrieve from the file in which the IDs are stored. And so the replies the bot generates back at the tweets that mention it are run from this list. And for more responses, I didn't include it here, but there's a lot more longer ones. And yeah, and on the bottom left here, I use a while loop to run the function and check for new mentions every minute. Yeah, so those are basically all the steps into my bot and generating an automatic reply to mentions. Yeah, so for next steps and improvements, I want to add more features to the bot, such as like a joke telling feature, so that when you mention the bot asking for a joke, it will reply with a joke, and it will be based off of specific keywords in the mention, such as like if there's the word joke, it will tell a joke. And I also want to find a way around the rate limit. So because the bot checks like all of Twitter every minute, it runs into the rate limit a lot and it has to like rest for maybe 5 minutes in between. So that creates a bit of a lag, and I want to find a way to get around that. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Right, nice. I think there's someone in the chat who's running into some trouble.
It might be on rate limit. Usually for Lily, you might have to wait like usually 2 or 3 minutes maybe.
Okay.
Okay, it will respond later.
All right, great. So I guess we can head into Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, you can say it out loud, or you can put it in the chat. So yeah.
How did you come up with this idea?
So I've just always been really interested in chat boxes, and I think Twitter is like a really big social media platform right now. So I kind of wanted to combine the two. Yeah. And just like fortune telling and advice in general, I think with like the original Magic 8 Ball is pretty cool.
How long does it take to make the project?
For this one, it took I think 3 weeks. Yeah, it was for my Python 1 final project.
Did you run into any issues while making the project?
Yeah, so like with the rate limit, it used to reach the rate limit every few seconds. And it was just because it was for Python 1, I had to do a lot of research into like files and libraries by myself. Yeah, and just the Twitter API has its own like documentation, and it was a little bit hard to work with.
Were there any instances where the bot failed to function when it receives too many questions or because of other reasons?
Yeah, that's kind of the rate limit thing. It just like because it runs so often, like it has to check all of Twitter every few minutes, so it sometimes responds really slow. Okay, yeah, Lily, I think it responded to your tweet.
Okay, I think I don't know how to. This person, your username is I don't know how to something. Asked, could you do Roblox bots?
Well, I'm not really familiar with Roblox, but I mean, like, I think a lot of social media platforms have bots, like Discord bots, and like there's a library for Minecraft. So I think there is probably Roblox bots. Yeah. Discord's really nice for making bots.
Yes, but I haven't heard of any Roblox bots unless using bots to design the games.
Yeah, so like don't try to make a Roblox bot if it's not legal. Because only like some social media apps support like you changing the API.
So you change the Roblox bot, and now the FBI is knocking on your door.
All right. Do we still have any more questions for Nicole? If not, I guess we can end it here today. So thanks everyone for coming to the meeting. As usual, follow Coding Minds social media, and I guess I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for coming. Also, thank you, Nicole, for presenting. Your project's really cool. So yeah.